All this is the strategy of creating a successful family. Because it's a matter of creation. You're either creating or destroying.
Hey, family. Hey.
Just doing public relation for the restaurant.
So the key thing is, how do you have balance? Well, you never really have balance. It's almost impossible to have balance. Those people that disconnect at 5 p.m. on a midweek, or, oh, I can be reached on weekends, they want to compete with me? Impossible. I'm on the boat with my kids in Cancun, and I have my phone. Somebody texts me, I'd like to see a building, I'd like to do this, I saw your advertisement here and there. I'm the fastest person to respond. That's why I can't deal with brokers, not that they're bad or anything. Some of them want to disconnect at a certain time. I'm reachable. I'm on a different time zones. I could get a call from California, and it's 8 p.m. there, so it's reasonable. But I'm on Atlantic time in Puerto Rico, and it's midnight. I'll take the call. So, but then when I go to sleep, that's the thing. When I'm gonna go to sleep, I turn off my phone, because I gotta actually go to sleep. I sleep deep. Sleep is a very, very important thing for me, so I can be completely alert in the morning. I don't drink. Never taken drugs. Being alert is not just survival, but it's prosperity. Get somebody who is incoherent, he can't even cross the street. He's gonna get hit by a car. And that's same in a business dealing. If you're not completely focused, without the fogginess of the brain and all this, if you don't know what you want, you're lost. So the balance between work and life, business and life, comes from explaining to the family and to the spouse, this is what daddy does. And if the mother's out there doing it, hey, this is what mommy does. And you set the rules and they understand it, and you compromise when it's needed. Like you compromise in business, you compromise in personal life in a way that makes sense to nurture the relationships. That's the most important thing. That's happiness is all about being ethical, having positive relationships with yourself, with others, and with God. And the third thing for happiness is to set goals and achieve them. If you don't have goals, then you don't have an outlook, a positive outlook on the future. That's the essence of happiness, is to look at the future and say, it's gonna get better. I'm doing good things. You know, no matter what's happening now, there is a way to reposition things. Thank you. You take the way anyone thinks. Okay, what's the process of thinking? So you're sitting with somebody, and they're telling you something, and what's going through your mind? Actually, 3 questions. The way the mind thinks is internal. You're talking to your mind. The spirit, which is you, is processing things through the mind by saying, what's happening? First question. What does it mean? You give it a meaning. And number 3, what should I do about it? This is the process of thinking. So if I'm traveling and my wife is wondering what the heck is going on, she's thinking, what's happening? He's gone. What does it mean he doesn't care? What should I do about it? Maybe I should have a cold shoulder when he calls me. I should be aloof. But if she gives it another meaning, which is, oh, he's providing for the family, he's doing some great thing, he's passionate about it, he's teaching students, he doesn't need to do this 3-day event or the 4-day intensive thing, but he loves doing it, and it's helping the world, and it's helping him go to the next level, then she's giving the right meaning. So how do I make sure that people give the right meaning when they ask themselves the question, what's happening when I'm dealing with them? Is by me setting the proper climate, the right relationship, and explaining things. And it's just a lot of nurturing. You're constantly creating. The minute you put something on automatic, it's gonna go down. Because in the universe, things either improve or decline. And if you leave them alone, there is decay. It's just the universe.
So constantly creating a climate.
Constantly creating a climate of nurturing, of caring, etc. And if it's somebody messing with you, you constantly create a climate of hell. So when they see you, they want to disappear. They want to disintegrate. All right, bon appetit. Creating a climate is key to the execution of the plan. Most people don't even have a plan, let alone create a climate. And you know how they create a climate? They don't understand how to create it, so they become effect. So people tell them something, and then they react. Remember, the 3 levels are, you either react, which is a low level, somebody just pushes your buttons, you react. Don't tell me like this. Or you respond. You're more intuitive instead of instinctive. You're more intuitive. Like, he said this, or she said that. Maybe the best way to respond is this. Or you can be the highest level, which is strategic. It's more spiritual level, like, okay, what would be the best thing I can do now for this moment that will lead me to the end goal that I want? A stronger relationship, a more meaningful goal, a better result, etc. So a lot of people are reactive. They don't even respond. They are just so instinctive with their reaction is good if you're gonna burn your finger and then you react like this physically, but you can't react emotionally and blow somebody off because he just upset you. You may be doing a deal with the guy and he's upset because you're making a low offer and he reacted and got mad. You need to now work with that. Acknowledge his emotion, make him feel better about what he said, explain your point of view and say, I made this offer because. That word because can assuage their concern. They kind of relax their emotions a bit. Some people reacted so much in life that they reach a lower even level aberration. It's like take in personal life, a husband and wife and they had a fight. And the man wants to apologize, so he goes and he says, you know, I feel bad. She's so aberrated now, she's below even the reaction point, so she looks at him, it's all about you, huh? How you feel? Oh no, I just wanted to say that it's all about you. You see how you talk? No, because you are so important. Oh, don't tell me stuff you don't believe. There's no more weight because it just has gone so far down. He did not nurture enough and respond properly and strategically build that relationship that is, hey, I want to tell you I love you. You know, it's not just what we say, but it's what we do. Why do we give flower? Why do we have to give a ring? Isn't saying I love you enough? Because you have to add mass to the world of ideas and concepts. You have to add mass, and the mass is the flowers, the rings. Take a child and tell them, 1 + 1 is 2. The kid want to continue playing with the little cart or whatever they have. But take 2 apples and say, 1 + 1 is 2. The kid sees mass and now he's interested. Why do I have a flip chart when I do my trainings? Because if I just give info without anything in writing, I cannot solidify their thoughts. I want them to have something in writing because now they have reality on the subject matter. The other day we were talking about a complicated deal, you and me, and we were at the table and there's a first right of refusal upstairs and the guy downstairs and he's assigning it to this guy. And remember I had to put the bottle of ketchup, the mustard and then the mayonnaise and my phone and I'm coming here and this guy. And it just got so much clearer. Puerto Rican coffee is amazing also.
Umbrella over
Absolutely, positively. Thinking strategically has a lot to do with being ethical, being truthful, and caring. Yeah, well, thinking strategically, the climate part falls under thinking strategically because the strategy is the plan and the execution of the plan is what you want to do. So how am I going to do it? By setting the climate. It's connecting the plan to the execution. Setting the climate and building that atmosphere of cooperation or not cooperating, etc. All this is the strategy. So if the plan is to have a successful family and a loving relationship, long-term loving relationship, so the execution will be to constantly recommit, to constantly create moments that are good, to compromise at times when my wife is not feeling well or upset about something, to understand, validate her emotions. The kids the same way, give them their space, help them develop to the next level. All this is the strategy of creating a successful family. Because it's a matter of creation. You're either creating or destroying. And people get upset, so they default to a destructive mode because they react, and then other people react to them, then it becomes an aberrated level of dealings. And when you reach that aberration, you can think straight. You're now constantly being triggered by emotional triggers. People just press your points. And if you realize that emotion is a matter of habit, and there is a scale of emotion. You could be the highest, will be serene and calm and loving the world, enthusiastic, being interested in things. Lower than that, be less interested, a bit more conservative. Lower than that, be antagonistic, like get away from me. Lower than that is anger. Lower than that is covert hostility, you can't even express it. Lower than that is fear. And you can go all the way down to apathy, where no matter what happens, you're apathetic about it. It's like that guy, the beggar sitting right there. You give him $1, don't give him $1, he doesn't care anymore. He's totally apathetic. That person have no senses to the world. You see it in movies. He found his spouse cheating on him or something, he's walking, crossing the street, and the bus is gonna hit him, and they honk, beep, beep, beep. And the guy's just like walking, he can't even see. He reached a level of depression, and below that he's just sitting there, he's apathetic about whole life. They come with a gun, hey, I'm gonna rob you, and the guy's like, whatever, man. So you don't wanna get there. And when you're dealing with people, you have to quickly focus on what level of emotion are they on. This guy's angry. So how am I going to communicate with him? I'm going to be enthusiastic. Oh yeah, I know you're mad about the delays of the flight and we're all sitting on the flight, but I'm loving life because I just closed the deal. You just broke affinity. You don't have the same agreement on reality. He's going to say, get away from me. He's not going to talk to you. But if you say, I agree with you, the airline, oh my gosh, they're so bad. They missed my luggage last year. And all of a sudden you connect on their anger level and then bump them up. And then bump them up. You know, but thank God we're going to arrive safely. Yeah, you're right. I should think of it. But you gotta first meet their level of emotion. And if you're angry and somebody comes in enthusiastic, you gotta have the flexibility and the personality to watch, extrovert, watch where they are in life in their enthusiastic level and then go up. That's how you do a sale, by caring what their feelings are and where did they get their feelings from how they analyze the meaning of what's going on. So if you're in control of yourself and you understand how you're thinking, how you're feeling, and how you're analyzing things, you're able to watch others and match their tone of emotion and improve yours and theirs, and now you're having the better relationship, which again is a constant creation based on observation. Because you fill the voids of knowledge with accurate observation. If I don't know, I want to go look. You can only get hurt by what you don't see. As a matter of fact, when people get scared or they want to look, they're just going like this because they don't want to look. And if you don't see, you're going to get hurt. I can get hurt if I see the car coming at me, I'm going to jump. But if I don't see it, I'm going to get hurt. Somebody coming to clobber me, if I don't see it, they're going to hit me. Same in real estate deals. Same at home. Are you paying attention? Are you listening to how your spouse feels? Most people don't even know what the end goal of anything is. What's the end goal of having kids or raising the kids? What's raising? Raising, even the term itself means taking them to a higher level than where you are. That terms mean getting them to their maximum potential. Which potential by its very nature is a fleeting thing, because as you get better, you have more potential. That's the goal, is to have them see you have potential, go to the next level. How do you get there? You show somebody you have more potential than you realize. So let's set some goals together. Let's get the knowledge, let's take action, and now you've achieved some stuff. Now you're actually going to the next level. How do you go to the next level? You have goals, take knowledge, take action, you got a network. Because you can only have so much time, so much money, so much energy. You network, you have allies, you multiply yourself. Even when you fight, you win wars not by meditating and sitting aside. No, by going out there confronting and saying, okay, I'm gonna strategize. I'm gonna actually get best timing. I'm gonna get intelligence, information, and the right strategy to attack. And then I'm gonna get the right allies through my networking, and I'm gonna attack relentlessly with an overwhelming force. That's how you win a war. So yeah, it's not a war. It's not a war in life or in business. It's a game, but it's a game of creation and playing fair and control. Yes, it is constantly people first for me. Who am I dealing with? What is their end goal? What's in it for them? What biases do they have? What background do they have? If you're dealing with a young person, they may have a different outlook on the whole transaction or the whole relationship than an older person. If you're dealing with somebody from a certain part of the world, they may have a different work ethics, they may have a different sense of urgency than somebody else. And all this is very important. I come to the Caribbean, it's a bit slower. I remember telling my wife one time, my gosh, I can't believe it, I show up. The paper should be ready and they tell me come back at 5 o'clock. You know, I need to go tomorrow, maybe it's not gonna be done at 5. And she said, look, why don't you pace yourself to the Caribbean if you wanna be in Puerto Rico and do business here. And maybe they are right and you're wrong. Maybe just sit down and enjoy the lunch and do all this. And if you don't, it may cause you a heart attack. I don't worry so much where I create my own stress. I don't work like this, but if I don't have a sense of urgency to beat time at all times and be ahead of the game and create sense of urgency for others, I will get eaten alive because I got too much going on in too many places, and every cycle of action got to be closed, got to be finished. So I write everything down, I put it right here on my phone, on my to-do list, and I work the to-do list and I update it constantly. So everything is out of my mind, so I'm able to focus, and I create a sense of urgency. So what is control? So the definition for control is the ability to start, change, and or stop something. If you can start it, you're in control. If you can change its speed, intensity, volume, you're in control. You can stop it. When I say this guy's out of control, they can stop him. This car is out of control. So sometimes people think...
So it has nothing to do with direction then?
It does, because that's the change. So start, change is redirect, change the speed, change the intensity, change the volume of something. So you want to be able to redirect and change as you wish. You're in control. and you want to be able to stop it when you want to stop it. I was doing a transaction and I realized that we were doing a rehab of a big home, and I realized none of my project managers had control. When I called him, I said, call the guy. Oh, no, I can't reach him. Wait a minute. We need to stop this wall because there is a problem with the neighbor. Well, you know, we didn't have the foreman. They're in control of nothing. I said, all of you guys, we're going to have to do this thing different. We're going to have to do it this way, this way, this way. And they didn't have control. They're not working with me anymore because I'm in control. I stopped that relationship and I started something else. So you plan, you want to execute, you connect both by creating a climate. So you plan, I want to execute this way, or this thing got to get done. This is the end goal. Creating a climate helps you so you stay in control. But then afterwards, you're going to review. Oh my gosh, we're not in control here. We lost control there. We're not doing this so fast. This is slow. This is costing more money or time or effort. So now we're going to do correct, adjust, and improve. That's the part that helps you gain control again.
Now, is that where most people lose?
Absolutely.
That's where emotion comes in, right? Because
So let's begin with this. Most people don't have a plan. So when they come in, they react to the climate. Climate is set from the minute I greet somebody. Hey, how you doing? Let's sit down. That sets a tone completely different than good to see you. Have a seat. Totally different, you see? So plan, most people don't have a plan, so they become victim to whatever the reaction is gonna be to the actual climate, and the execution becomes against them. They don't get what they want. They end up compromising, they end up losing. And then they don't even go back and reflect on the mistakes they made, because by human nature is when there is a mistake, they wanna run. A kid falls, he gets hurt right here, he wants to run over there and go cry to mommy over there. But the actual best way to do it is to get the kid and say, hey, what just happened? And let the kid tell you, I was running and I slipped and I hit my head. Tell me again what happened. The more he tells you, the more he confronts what just happened, doesn't affect him anyway, he blows off and he goes and plays again. Does not bother him, he just got scared, that's why he cried, that's why he screamed. And what does the mom or the dad do? They pick him up, oh my gosh, they take him away. Have him be there, have him tell you, have him confront what just happened. So I say, when I make a mistake, or when I make a deal, before we finalize, I say, let me go back and look. This morning I was telling you about the deal, 2.5 million. When they did the paperwork, sent it to me to review, they put 2,437,000 because they added some expenses here and there. So that was we had a plan. I met with the people, built very good rapport, so we had a good climate. We executed, I got the paperwork for the execution ready to sign, and I realized there is some $67,000 difference, or $64,000, whatever it was. So what I did is, I called the people, and I said, let's go on a conference call. My lawyer was in the office because they were all in the office coming to sign. And I said, I'm reviewing this morning and it's a little bit different. And this is because we had actually connected well with the other people coming to buy the building, I was able to do the correction. I said, I thought we agreed on this. Isn't that what we said? And there was some language barriers and they translated and then they said, okay, sorry, we misunderstood. I don't know if it was enabled, they're trying to get something at the end or whatever it was, but they corrected it and we moved on. So I kept thinking, what did I do wrong to cause that to happen? When we met, we shook hands and I left. And I never sat there like I always do and write an email, say, okay, so I'm gonna actually solidify what we just said. Sometimes I even go on my iPhone and say, okay, let me just audio tape this in case I forget. We agreed to put 2.5 million. I'll carry a note for so many years, due in so many years. And I would have spelled it all out. And I'd say, I'm here with John Doe, and is that correct? Yes, we agree. So I didn't do that with that party. And why I didn't do it? Because at one point they had to leave because somebody came and said, okay, we're waiting downstairs where I was in their office, and we left. So I didn't wrap it up and I didn't follow up with an email. Created that confusion of 60,000 I was gonna lose. So by rubbing my nose into my mistake, I don't make it again. While most people say, I don't want to think about my problem. Oh my gosh, I did so bad. I don't even want to look at the stock that I lost money or whatever. So important to review, correct, to stay in control, because if you communicate well and you stay in control, you got the knowledge, and you take responsibility, you're gonna make as much money as you wanna make. Do you wanna make money? Go make it. It's out there. Either have it or you don't have it. Just go have it.